What is up? Mike Krause in wrestling country, Pennsylvania, with Coach Slack over there at Canon-Mac, and that rhymes. What's going on?
Canon-Mac, Coach Slack from Canon-Mac.
Yeah, what's going on? You got Mike in the house. Not the first time, huh?
No, this is ninth year in a row we've had Mike Krause in. You know, I was an early fan when I was watching back when he had the shirts, head inside, head outside, next level. Quick fan of his. I used to, order the shirts back then for my youth wrestlers. I've been at Canon-Mac, by the way, for 22 years now. This is my 22nd season. But anyhow, and eventually we got hooked up, and it's been a great match.
So
for sure.
Finally, we understand the secret to the Pennsylvania power. You've had Mike there 9 times. This is starting to make sense.
99%. That's it. About 99% of all success here.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit. Everybody knows PA's. That's where it's at. That's where you find real depth when you look at the state tournament and guys that move on to college and become All-Americans and NCAA champs. Where what's happening there?
Yeah, Pennsylvania is very proud of their wrestling heritage, and especially, we keep a keen eye on our All-Americans in Division I year after year, and that's a big stat that we love to share on social media. The drop off after us, whether it's Ohio or New Jersey, which, by the way, they kind of learned a lot from us anyhow. But our depth is very. I think that sets us apart from the other 49 states. And I think where that comes from is our opportunities. We have somewhere 150, 200, I think, registered clubs at this point in the state of Pennsylvania. Just in where we're at in southwestern Pennsylvania, a hotbed, Coleman Scott, Jake Herbert. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
Ray Brinzer.
But just recent Olympics. Yeah, Ray Brinzer's a close friend of mine. You start looking at the hotbed here. You have Young Guns within 2 hours. You have Quest Wrestling right here within our school district. You have Gladiators, Justin Waters doing a job. Bad Karma, people know him from freestyle. Gary Steen, what he's doing on the freestyle scene. So within 2 hours, you have all these clubs and these great clubs. And also every weekend, year round, you just have a plethora of competition opportunities. There's tournaments you wouldn't believe. And like I said, I always hear these horror stories from these other states. People come here from Utah, Texas, Florida for Powerade. We'll get people in from California. California doesn't so much have the tournament problem, I don't think, anymore. But you hear about driving 2-3 hours, to find a tournament where they can find some competition. Here, it's a matter of what level do you want to go at. And I was mentioning to Mike many times, one of my rules of thumb for my youth wrestlers anyhow is about a 70, 75, 80% win percentage I like to keep my youth wrestlers at. For instance, I have a dad comes in, he says, "Oh, my kid's 27-0 so far, coach. What should I do?" And I write down a tournament. I say, "I go to North Hills Top 100 tournament next weekend." Boom, Monday he comes in, my kid went 0-2. You got tech and you got majored. I said, "Exactly." I said, "So now we got to get to work." And on the flip side of that, maybe on Wednesday's practice, I have a mom come in. "Coach, my kid wants to quit. He's 0-10. He's got pinned 7 times." I write down a tournament. I go to South Fayette Novice tournament this weekend. And he went 5-1, got a 32-inch trophy. He's all excited now. Exactly. So winning more than they're losing, so their confidence isn't falling through, but losing enough to realize that they got to learn some technique and they got to keep working hard.
So if they do lose in high school, they don't get off. They don't quit.
Yeah,
I can't believe I'm losing. Lost.
That's another, particularly at Canon-Mac, that's something that we focus on. We start out with the hard basics on day one when they're 4 or 5 years old, and we never give up on that. We don't, we're not doing chin whips and suicide rolls and these types of things. And so we sacrifice some early victories for the long term. Because I always say it takes 4 to 7 years to master this sport, depending on the passion of the student. And I always say this to my students too. I say, look, because I have some kids that join, like Brendan Furman, current Cornell heavyweight. He's starting, by the way. He beat the number 7 ranked kid. He's a freshman this year, red shirt freshman, gray shirt freshman. He's starting.
Canon-Mac kid.
Started in junior high. Yeah. Canon-Mac, junior high. And he won states as a senior. Never made it to states. Won states as a senior.
The kid I know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He's at Cornell right now.
Right.
Okay.
Pretty smart too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Got a head on his shoulders.
Well, we're very proud of that. See, this is another thing. I could go on and on about what this school district done, even just within my time. Overall, they're the winningest program in Pennsylvania history. We have somewhere around 1,064 wins right now as a high school. We have 43 state champions, 44. Brendan was our 43rd. Logan Macri last year is now wrestling for West Virginia as our 44th state champion. That's the most in Pennsylvania also. Clearfield second at 42. But besides, we don't measure our success in wins and losses in here. So, Connor Stram, you may remember, Stanford, now at Lehigh. Dalton Macri started at Cornell, now at North Carolina. Brendan Furman, Cornell. Colton Shorts, Cal Poly. You start looking at the colleges where we're aiming to get our kids. It's about life beyond wrestling.
When you say 48 state champ, is that 48 state
44.
individual or 44?
44
like,
individual.
If I'm a two-timer, does that count twice?
That counts twice.
Okay, because we got
in the
40,
state of
we got
Pennsylvania.
48 CCs or whatever.
Well, we're talking Michigan here with 6 divisions.
You gonna take that, Mike?
I'm trying to keep up over here. I can't keep up. Hey, let me say this, though. The depth in PA is so crazy. I remember, I think it was 7 or 8 years ago, when the Whippio League, I repeat, the Whippio League.
I was there. They blanked you guys.
Yeah, blanked. And Mitch Hancock was helping
Mitch
coach
was in the corner,
break or nine, bring it home. Come on.
The Whippio is our region.
Conference. It's a conference.
And the Dapper Dan, where that event is wrestled, was created by my wife's uncle.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's the founder of that, the Rose Bowl of wrestling, they call it. Manuel Pikus, he's a 4-time state champ from Pennsylvania. He's our oldest living state champ right now, actually. I should have you interview him. He's in every Hall of Fame. He's a good guy, very knowledgeable. He's Olympic alternate in 56, Indiana University. We sent a lot of guys in that area to Indiana, Oklahoma State. Back then it was Oklahoma Tech, I think, or A&S or something. But more important than the wins and losses, we measure our success in a lot of other ways. What I say is, wrestling is a way to discover who you are and then find that limit and then keep going beyond it. So our successes, we don't measure in wins and losses. That's for certain around here. That takes care of itself.
So first of all, for someone that's never seen a Coach Krause practice, can you tell him, can you describe it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest things that I love and every parent here loves is instant demanding of respect and capturing their attention. Bouncing his breathing, on the gold line, these types of things, it becomes automatic and it's instant. I've seen many coaches try to command that respect and that instant. It takes years to develop a rapport with kids sometimes. He gets it instantly. He grabs their attention instantly. There's no bones about it. First-year wrestler, we could have a Super 32 champ in the room, and he commands their respect all the same, and he grabs their attention. It's second to none. And then the amount of experience that he's gotten around, I had Bo Nickel in twice this year. I had them in together this year, and they had known each other from when Bo was a child. So it was a great connection, and when you start seeing someone who's drilled with people like Bo Nickel and Jaden Cox, and even I over these last 9 years, I've seen his own technique develop, just in his own experience of getting around the country. So I'd love to hear what they're doing in California, what Thomas is doing, what Jaden Cox is doing.
I always say, this wasn't around in 87. This wasn't around in 90.
That's his big thing.
I know what I'm doing now.
And even our guys, sometimes we get stuck in what we do. Like today, he was going, kind of a John Smith style low outside single, and our guys even our experienced guys were having trouble because they're we just do it a different way. So it makes them think. It's like at church, if we change a prayer on somebody that they've memorized or is kind of robotically saying it, when you change that prayer, it kind of forces them to think about what they're saying. So today, what I witnessed in the last few sessions, last couple, this is the 9th annual, so 8th, 7th, I noticed he's challenging my better kids to actually think about what they're doing rather than just, hey, I'm a Super 32 champ, this is how I do it. No, try it this way, post, low, drag, because this is John Smith, this is what he showed me. So maybe it can work for you.
Yeah, John Smith, Super 32 is pretty tough, but John Smith won a couple tournaments tough, few world and Olympic titles.
Still working on catching them, right?
Yeah. Right. So let me ask you, Mike. I haven't been. I'm gonna catch up with you during this road trip, but I haven't been to one of your camps or sessions for a while. What's what's something new that you're bringing to the camp scene?
Well, I mean, seriously, I incorporated a new rule. Rule number 5 is called respect. I found in my travels that when I call on kids and I bring them out the center, this whole eye rolling thing is really getting on my nerves. Kids roll their eyes. Kids I can't believe you're making me do it again, Coach Krause. So I actually explain it to them. I say, when I call you out here in the center and I'm on you to do it over and over again, I want you to look me in the eye and say, thanks, Coach. Because I learned that from John Smith, actually. John Smith had Pincinini and JoJo Smith out there doing knee pull singles. And he was like, come on, Pincinini, do it again, faster, faster. And he was doing it faster. And Pincinini was giving, of course, John Smith so much respect. I was like, that's the way it should be. The coach is harping on a kid, and the kids should love it. It's a gift. And for youth kids to understand that, I got to explain it first. Because when they're in front of everybody, and I'm on them over and over again, they get perturbed. And I'm like, no, don't get mad at me. It's a gift, So I call kids out in the middle, and I drill them over and over again. I make them get better right in front of the kids' eyes. So rule number 5 is respect. And I've also got a few new callback things that I do. I get the kids to call back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I just keep more engaged.
No, I love you always got a cue for everything. That's what I always tell people. I've seen in your camp, you have a room full of 60, 70 new kids, and you could manage that room better than a lot of teachers that ever had with a classroom full of 20 kids.
A quick funny story is when I went to Monterey, the first time they gave me 40 kids to work with, and I was doing my usual skit, had them going on. They're all getting crazy. They're all calling back. They're all doing what I said. We had a break about an hour into it, and this older coach comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, so you flew your whole team out here?" I said, "No, these aren't my guys." "Well, how long you work with these kids?" I said, "About an hour." He goes, "Well, oh my gosh, how do they know how to say all these things? How do they do these things?" I said, "Well, that's why I'm here. I'm showing you how to command the room and make the kids pay attention." He was like, "Unbelievable."
It is unbelievable. So talk a little bit about what you're in the middle of. You're at the front end of a monster road trip.
I'm at the front end of 50 states in 5 months. I got it all mapped out on bringitwrestling.com. I'm going Ohio, Pennsylvania, over to New York, to Maine, all through the New England states, down to Florida, back up to Michigan for Christmas. And then I'm going on the next 2 months. I'm going out to the west side of the whole nation. So, and I'm hitting Alaska and Hawaii too. So look out.
Super
Yeah.
intense.
Love it.
So you have a bunch of dates filled up. Anybody that might see this that's interested, they go to your website and lock in one of these days.
Yeah, you can just go to bringitwrestling.com under the 50 states in 5 months deal, and it shows you the whole list of the calendar, where I'm going to be in what state and what day. And if the date has a line through it, that means it's booked. If it doesn't have a line through it, that means it's open. Go ahead and click on the date. It's $200 to reserve the date, $30 a kid, 30 kid minimal. But the deal is this: every kid gets the access code to the AdidasWrestling.com website, and you get 30%. I repeat, 30% off any Adidas order. So you get your money back.
The word on the street is you contacted my little brother in Columbia, Missouri. There might be
absolutely.
I will be there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I told James we should do 2 days in a row, or maybe 3. But I'm going to contact Brian Smith too, see if I can get in the Missouri room, because Smitty and I were college teammates, and Smitty, when he was on the team, he was like a coach. That guy, he was like on us all day long. Brian Smith, tough.
Get this: James is school Tolton Catholic. Currently, they have 3 wrestlers on Missouri's team. One of them's Jaden Ironman, so we all know him. 2 guys in their first year there just won the Harold Nichols Open, the redshirt year, and Brock Mahler took out a 2-time NCAA qualifier and a round of 12 guy in the finals.
12-6. These are James guys?
Yeah, they're crushing it. Tolton Catholic High School. They also most of those guys also train with Mike Ironman, so he's doing a good thing. Jaden Cox, world champ, just talked to him yesterday.
Yeah.
You shared a room with him in Monterey, right?
Yeah. Well, he hit his technique on me, about blew my leg out a couple times hitting that 3 single. And my claim to fame is this: he took a bad shot. I spun behind him and I went 2. He goes, "I'll give you that." I was like, "I just took you down, bro. What's up?"
Yeah.
By the way, Joe, next time you guys come to Powerade, you should stay here. Ask Mike.
Oh
The
yeah.
accommodations here are perfect rather than spending
Oh,
money on
I
a
didn't get the invite.
Hey, Coach
Yeah.
Slack owns, I don't know how many acres you have, like 100 acres.
couple hundred
He's got a
acres.
church out back. He's got a pool. It's like a
Matt,
it's like a compound.
Powerade
It is.
event. That'd be okay to go. I want to go to Mike's camps, so I'm sure camp number 10's coming up soon. Give me the call then.
I will.
When I get in a room with Krause, I bring a little magic myself. Bring a little
That's
magic.
Nice.
Seriously, Joe, we have so many stories. I swear, I feel like I've known you for my whole life. It's crazy, actually.
Yeah. We need to do a coverage what's going on out there.
We do.
Oh yeah. So
How's Canon-Mag looking this year?
Oh, we're good. We were 4th in the state last year. I think our team's about the same. We lost that Logan Macri and a few other seniors. Of course, every year when you have a good program, you graduate in 6 or 7 kids, but we've replaced them. So we expect to, we've been WPIAL runner-ups the last couple of years, which is the region you talked about earlier, the Dapper Dan, the Rose Bowl wrestling event.
Which is unacceptable in your book.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. When we don't win around here, it's basically a disaster in the community. That's another thing about our community. Our program started in 1924, and it just there's a lot of expectations. So you have 3rd, 4th generation in the community. If you wrestle around here, you're a celebrity. You're literally a celebrity. When our kids make it to Fargo or go to Super 32, the sponsorships, they just never end. The kids never pay a dime for anything around here. If you're a wrestler and you're an accomplished wrestler and you've got good grades, people are going to back you in this community like none other, and everyone knows that. But like I said, our successes were really they don't measure in wins and losses. I started a program here, wrestling with virtue. So in addition to the wrestling technique that we're always teaching, I've narrowed down from 208 virtues that I studied to 82. Always starting with humility and hard work, and then on, perseverance, you name it. But it's been exploding. It's on a Youth for Christ campus, and I do it right next to the Canon-Mac program. Because in a school district, you got to watch what you talk about when it comes to religion and these types of things. But there, I've kind of opened up, and that's when we start seeing these 4.0 students and goal setting and time management and life skills, that we're gaining from sports. Palomalo's a great friend of mine, Troy Palomalo, and we've been all around the world together on pilgrimages. And so when he retired from football, we were sitting here in my chapel one day and we started talking about youth sports, because he was taking his son to soccer practice, and he's sitting around and people are like, oh, we're playing soccer. These kids are 8, 9 years old to go pro. We're going to go pro. And I hear it in wrestling. My kid's going to be an Olympian. He's going to be an Olympian. But
my kid's 85 and 0.
But the facts are, that the percentages of the people who accomplish that kind of level are way down. So what about the rest of them? Is their identity only sports? That's what we were talking about one day. So he, in turn, started the Alliance Minor League Football League with Chuck Urbasol and Bill Polian that's going to take off this February. And I started the Wrestling with Virtue program. And we both devised this plan sitting in the chapel down here one day. And but it's about life beyond sports. Our identity not just being sports. It's who are we as husbands, community leaders, these types of things. And that's another thing that Coach Krause and I have really connected on a deep level, making men out of these boys, because not all of them are going to be Division I All-Americans. I mean, we're definitely shooting for that. Connor Schramm, Solomon Cisco, hopefully Brendan Furman coming up here. Dalton Macri's dealt with some injuries here so far. But we've had our share of, and we've had 5 NCAA champions in our school's history.
Yeah.
We got none. We got none, but we're working on it. We got Miles Mean, 2-time All-American.
There we go. Wolverines are looking good. But they see that we're sitting at like the 5 spot right now.
I know it.
And I'd like, I'm throwing a lot of names out there from our school district. Shisco, Schramm, Colton Shorts, and now I don't know if you've met Mason Beckman, who's now coaching at George Mason.
I just talked to him the other day.
Yeah, he's an excellent person. And I really have to say, I mentioned it earlier, Quest School of Wrestling that's here in this district. Jim Akerley is one of the best coaches in this nation.
You go into Quest, and they have the hats of all the kids that have gone to college. The whole dang wall is full of hats.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of notoriety because he's not a social media type of person. He's not going to put himself out there. But all them names I'm mentioning, Connor Schramm, Like I said, Solomon Chisco, Cody Weirchalk, Super 32 champ. I'm sure you remember from a few years back. He dealt with some concussion issues at Pitt, so he didn't go his way in college. But those are all Akerly. That's another secret of ours is we're not prideful. It's not like Coach Slack did this for this kid. I want them to go to Akerly. I want them to be exposed to Krause, to Brinzer, even to Jody Stripmatter when it comes to freestyle in April and May. We'd like to do their program up there in April and May. He's putting world champions out every year, and we bite into that a little bit,
Yeah, this is true. I mean, this guy is the man, and he brings me in every year. A lot of guys don't bring other guys in. You gotta hear a different voice. Different voice. Yeah.
Like I said, the first virtue I start with is humility. I put myself lower than everybody, even my students. I really do. I think that's an important quality for them to learn in life.
Nice. You are online anywhere? Can somebody find you at?
Yeah, www.life. And I have blogs on there. And it's like I said, it's more than just wrestling, and it's going very well. The blogs have been very popular. www.life.
Nice.
Wrestling with virtue. Exactly.
There we go. All right, gentlemen. I got to go put my kid to bed. But you get any video from the camp? You got anything that you filmed from Mike today?
I took a lot of still frame pictures as usual. I didn't film much. I'm sure, as a matter of fact, one mom was filming the whole time. I'll see if I can dig you up some things. There was a bunch of them filming, so I'll dig something up. And I have old videos, of course.
Sweet. Pinky pull-ups? You got the pinky pull-ups?
No, only we got that, Joe.
Nice. Where are you off to next, Mike? Where'd you say?
Right down the road, 2 hours east, Fredericksburg, PA.
Nice. And
North Lebanon Wrestling Club.
Yep.
Awesome. And then when let's see, you got Virginia coming up too with those Sewell.
Oh yeah, I got three Virginias right alongside of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get to that, but definitely gonna be in Missouri. I'm gonna hit James up tonight, make sure that's going down.
We're doing it.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go tuck my son in and get back at it here. But it's good chatting with you, Coach Slack. You're the man.
Hey Joe.
What's up?
Grow wrestling on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Grow wrestling. Grow biceps. And a shout out to Josh Steven. He's my homeboy.
Nice. From Georgia?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Time, talent, and treasure. The only 3 things we're given in life. Thank you for giving us your time, talent, and treasure to this sport. And I appreciate his time, talent, and treasure, what he's done to help change our kids' life in this region. And I'm going to use every second in my time, talent, and treasure to better our sport and society in general.
Appreciate it, Coach. I'll see you out there next time.
Peace.
See you, Joe.
Take care, guys.